Hello, I am Annie Barrows, and I am the author of Stella and Marigold, which I'm going to read from for you today. This is the first book in our new series about Stella and her little sister Marigold. This book is available in both hardcover and paperback, and the second book in the series, Stella and Marigold, Mermaids Mix-Ups, will be coming out this fall on September 9th. Now, as you can see, because it says so right here, I wrote the words and my comrade Sophie Blackall made the pictures. You might know us from another series we did, which I happen to have right here, Ivy and Bean. But this is our new chapter book series, and I'm going to be reading to you from the very first chapter, which is called The Beginning of Stella and Marigold. There was the whole world, and in it there was a city, and in that city there was a house, and in that house there were two half houses. And in one of the half houses, Stella and Marigold lived with their mother and father. They had the bottom half. Ms. Raimondi and her friends lived in the top half. Stella was 7 and Marigold was 4. That meant that Stella had been on Earth for 3 whole years before Marigold got there. But Stella could only remember 4 things that happened in all those years. Seeing a real giraffe, the day she found out that there were other people named Stella, hugging Grandma on a blue couch, and a terrible time when her finger got pinched in the ironing board. Once Marigold got born, though, Stella could remember everything. She could even remember standing on the porch of the half house with Grandma while her mom waddled to the car so that she could go to the hospital to have Marigold. "Bye, Peaches!" Her mom turned and blew her a kiss. "When I come back, I will have a new baby, and you will be a big sister." This was hard to believe, but it turned out to be true. When Stella's parents returned to the half house the next day, her mom was holding a pile of blankets. This, Stella learned, was the baby. Next, her mother and father hugged and kissed Stella and told her how wonderful she was and how wonderful her new sister was and how wonderful everything was about to be. They sat Stella down on the couch and put the pile of blankets in her arms, and then they kissed her some more. Stella, who was a very kind person and usually very polite, finally had to say, "Please stop kissing me." She added, "I need to tell my sister something." Her mother and father smiled and nodded happily. Stella opened her eyes very wide. "Oh," said her mother, "you want us to go away?" Stella nodded, and they stepped away, but not far enough. Stella had to bend down very close to Marigold's tiny head. She had to lift Marigold's fuzzy, soft hat and put her mouth next to Marigold's squishy pink ear. And then she whispered, so that only Marigold could hear, "I'm Stella. I'm your sister. I'm going to tell you all the secret things I know. I would never tell them to anyone else, but I will tell them to you forever and ever." Marigold had only been in the world for 35 hours, and she had only known Stella for one of them. But she knew right away that Stella was saying something very important. She stared at Stella and decided she loved her. It's hard being a baby. Everyone knows more than you do. But from that moment on, Marigold knew one thing for sure: Stella. And Stella kept her promise. Of course, Mom and Dad taught Marigold important things too. They loved her and took care of her, and Marigold loved them back. But it was Stella who told her secrets. It was Stella who explained the world to her. That's the first chapter of Stella and Marigold. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much.